So this is the beginning of our Quaran-Tips. So since this is the first day that we're going to have this vlog when it comes to Quaran-Tips, so our focus on this first episode is all about the basic human needs. What's up, Ripa Pips? So today is a brand new episode of Brain Beats TV, and this is going to be our first episode of Quaran-Tips. So I call this Quaran because, of course, today we are actually experiencing the enhanced community quarantine, and of course, tips is focused more on totally innovative, personalized suggestions or supplements. So this is the beginning of our Quaran-Tips. So since this is the first day that we're going to have this vlog when it comes to Quaran-Tips, so our focus on this first episode is all about the basic human needs. So when you say basic human needs, these are the things that we need to have, because of course when there is gonna be a problem with the accomplishment of these basic human needs, of course it will actually create some complications or problems towards our physiological functioning. Not only physiologically, but of course it will also have problems with psychological function. Okay, so this vlog is focused more on the 15 basic human needs. This is a modified pattern of the 14 basic human needs according to Virginia Henderson, a nursing theorist. So Virginia Henderson presented to us 14 basic human needs, but of course, since this is gonna be a total innovative personalized supplements or suggestions, I made this one 15 instead of 14. So for us to easily remember this 15 basic human needs, I made a mnemonic, and that's gonna be comprising of the words basic human needs. So that's gonna be letter B, letter A, letter S, letter I, letter C, letter H, letter U, letter M, letter A, letter N, letter N, letter E, letter D, and of course letter S. So that comprises 3 letters, and of course it is composed of three words, and it's composed of 15 letters. So as what I mentioned, this is composed of 15 basic human needs. So okay, so let's begin with letter B. Letter B is breathe normally. So of course, our priority always, since when we focus more on nursing, our always priority then is to make sure that of course individuals usually will have to breathe normally, because of course by the process of breathing we are going to inhale oxygen, at the same time we are going to exhale carbon dioxide, and that's going to be very important because of course this will deliver oxygen towards vital cells in the body, especially of course those cells that requires oxygen to function, because of course without oxygen these cells will not actually function properly. So that's letter B. Letter B is breathe normally. Let's now have letter A. Letter A is avoid dangers. So of course, aside from that, based on the theory of Abraham Maslow's or Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our second priority or our second need then is about safety and security. So therefore, it is very essential for us to make sure that we are actually safe. So it is gonna be very important for us to have an avoidance of danger. So we have to make sure that we are going to get rid of things that will actually make us increasing the risk of us to have injury. So that's letter A. Letter A is going to be avoid danger. Let's now have letter S. Letter S stands for sleep and rest. Okay, so that's our third basic human need, sleep and rest. So it is essential for us to remember that during our adulthood, it is going to be very essential for us to have around 6 to 8 hours of sleep. That's gonna be considered to be the normal hours of sleep that we're going to have in order for us to make sure that our body will have to properly rest, and of course that will actually going to regain our energy for the succeeding days that is requiring us to do something. Okay, so that is gonna be letter S. Letter S is sleep and rests. Let's now have letter I. Letter I is integumentary protection and grooming. So of course, when you say integumentary protection or grooming, it means that we are going to make sure that our first line of defense is gonna be well protected. So we say well protected, it means that our skin must have to be intact. There has to be no cuts, there has to be no wounds. It's because of course if there will be presence of these wounds and cuts, that will make us prone to have the possibility of infection. So letter I is integumentary protection and grooming. So by the way, grooming is going to be part of hygienic measures. So when you say grooming, it means that it is essential for us to make sure that on a daily basis we have to take a bath. Of course, if you are not capable of taking a bath, so it will be good also for you to make sure that you are going to have sponge bathing or merely wash your face or whatsoever, because it will, when you are going to perform proper grooming, it will actually make, or it will actually increase your comfort level. Okay, so that's gonna be letter I, integumentary protection and grooming. Let's now have letter C. Letter C is communicate with others. So it is essential for us to remember that of course communication is very vital, because of course it is required and important, and it's actually significant for us to relate with others through communication. And remember, there are so many elements of communications. We have your sender, message, decoder, the channel, the pathway, and of course the feedback. But of course, if you're talking about the most significant element of communication, that should have to be feedback, because if there's no feedback, there's no existing communication. So that's letter C. So we have already completed the first word, and that's going to be basic. Let's review. Letter B is breathe normally. Letter A is avoid dangers. Letter S is sleep and rest. Letter I is integumentary protection and grooming. And letter C is communicate with others. Let's proceed now to the second word, and the second word is the word human. And of course, when I say human, it has to begin with letter H. Letter H is has suitable clothes. So of course, it is very essential for us to have this suitable clothing, because of course, the way you present yourselves to the public is going to be also a reflection of your personality. So it is going to be essential for us to wear appropriate clothing, especially if there are possible events that we're going to participate in. So of course, it is essential for us to have suitable clothing. That is letter H. Letter H is has suitable clothings or clothes. Let's now have letter U. Letter U is usual play and recreation. So we say usual play and recreation, it means that of course it is essential for us, it is essential also for us to make sure that there has to be participation with recreational activities, because of course these recreational activities will actually enhance our capacity to relate with others, because of course we're going to have possible games, we're going to make sure that these recreational activities will actually give us the opportunity to talk with these individuals around our community. So that's gonna be letter U. Letter U stands for usual play and recreation. Let's now have letter M. Letter M is movement and posture. So of course, it is essential for us to remember that there has to be of course movement of our limbs and extremities, because of course if we will not move our extremities and limbs, there's a possibility for us to have possible contractures or possible stiffness of joints. Also, if there will be possibility of stiffness of joints, then it of course that will actually make our movement difficult. So that's letter U. Letter U is usual play and recreation. Let's now have letter M. Letter M is movement and postures. So letter M is, of course, it is essential for us to move. It's essential for us to make sure that there has to be movement of our extremities and joints. It's because, of course, that is one way of preventing stiffness, that will actually prevent also the possibility of having sprain and whatsoever. So that's letter M. Letter M is movement and posture. Letter A is accomplishment through work. So when we say accomplishment through work, it means that it is essential for us to remember that of course in order for us to satisfy our physiological needs, it is important for us to have certain work. So therefore, if you are going to work, therefore there has to be an accomplishment that you're going to experience then. So that's letter A, accomplishment in work. Letter N is normal body temperature. Of course, our temperature is actually one of the essential vital signs that we're going to have in our body, it is just one of the vital signs that we are going to have normal functioning. So just remember that of course our master gland then is our hypothalamus. Therefore, of course, the temperature is regulated by the hypothalamus. So it is essential for us to remember that the hypothalamus must have to be functioning properly. Because of course, if the hypothalamus fails, of course, everybody will also fail. Okay, so that's gonna be letter N. So we have completed already the second word, and that's gonna be human. Letter H is has suitable clothing. So of course, it is essential for us to remember that you're going to have suitable clothes. Letter U is usual play and recreation. Letter M is movement and posture. Letter A is accomplishment through work, and of course, letter N is normal body temperature. That's the second word. So we're done already with the first 10 letters. We're done with basic and of course human. Let's have to complete now our 15 basic human needs with the word needs. Let's begin with letter N. Letter N is need to have environmental modification. So it is essential for us to remember that we are going to modify the environment that we live. It's because, of course, it is essential for us to adapt with the current situation in the environment. So therefore, it is good for us to have environmental modification. Of course, that will actually promote us to have adaptation at the same time healing. Let's now have letter E. Letter E is eat and drink. Of course, that's going to be part of our physiological need that we need to eat. We need to eat, and at the same time we need to drink. Of course, this food that we are going to eat is composed of carbohydrates, proteins, and at the same time a small amount of fat, because of course this will give us enough calories for us to sustain our daily needs on a daily basis. At the same time, of course, we need to drink. And remember, what is advised then is for us to drink water, because water is the only beverage that we are going to drink. It's because this is going to be very essential in order to insulate and at the same time help in the function of our physiological processes in the body. And at the same time, we have to remember also always that 60 to 70% of our total body weight is composed of water. So therefore, if there will be problems or if there will be deficiency of this water in our body, it will actually create a problem with our physiological functioning. That's letter E. Eat and drink. The next letter E is eliminate waste. Of course, when we eat and drink, of course, there will be metabolic processes that will actually going to that will actually undergo metabolic processes. So therefore, the byproduct of that one is, of course, metabolic waste. So it is essential for us to eliminate urine. It's essential for us to eliminate fecal matter or our stool or our feces. Is because of course these are waste products. So of course, if we're going to eat something, of course the byproduct of that one is feces. If we're going to drink water, of course the byproduct of that one is urine. So therefore, it is essential for us to have to eliminate these waste products from the body, because without elimination, this might actually cause poison. It will actually release toxins and will actually going to cause poisoning to our vital cells in the body. That's our second letter, E. Let's now have letter D. Letter D is discover and satisfy curiosity. So of course, human as we are, of course, we are going to make sure that there has to be satisfaction of our curiosity. Of course, this is in relationship to having heterosexual relationships or intimate relationships with others. So it will be good for us to have possibilities of satisfying this curiosity in us, especially in establishing relationship with other individuals. So that's letter D, discover and satisfy curiosity. And of course, last is letter S. Letter S is your spiritual worship with one's faith. So it will be important and essential also for us to remember. Of course, every individual has their own possible religious practices. So therefore, it is good for you to have your own specific religious practices, and that depends on how you give or how you present your worship with your own faith. So of course, that's letter S. Letter S is spiritual worship with one's faith. So we have completed now the third word that comprise the basic human need, and that's going to be our needs. Letter N is needs environmental modification. Letter E is eat and drink. Letter E is eliminate wastes. Letter D is discover and satisfy curiosity. And at the same time, letter S is spiritual worship with one's faith. Okay? So let us now have a recap of the 15 basic human needs. Let's begin with letter B. Letter B is breathe normally. Letter A is avoid danger. Letter S is sleep and rest. Letter I is integumentary protection and grooming. Letter C is communicate with others. Letter H is has suitable clothes. Letter U is usual play and recreation. Letter M is movement and posture. Letter A is accomplishment through work. And letter N is normal body temperature. Letter N is needs environmental modification. Letter E is eat and drink. Letter E is eliminate waste. Letter D is discover and satisfy curiosity. And letter S is spiritual worship with one's faith. So those are the 15 basic human needs that is actually focused today, especially on this vlog. And of course, I hope that you get something from this total innovative personal suggestions, and this is the first episode of our Quaran-Tips. So I hope that you're going to get some vital information to actually be of help, especially in making sure that you're going to meet this basic human needs that is basically needed for us to function properly. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. At the same time, please don't forget also to click the notification bell for you to be updated with my upcoming uploads. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. This is Brainblitz TV. What's in must come out, and what's out must come in. Keep coming. Thank you.